Okay, in lesson 18, we're working with rectangles and rhombuses, and we're looking at the
First one says a rhombus with no right angles.
Now, the important thing to know for a rhombus, and the most critical property or attribute of it, is that all sides are equal. So, now this has no right angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that when I draw them, I'm going to have the same lengths. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going 1, 2, 3 sections. Okay. So now I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3 sections. Now I'm going to come over 1, 2, 3 sections, and the last edge I'm coming down 1, 2, 3 sections. So this is actually 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 3 centimeters. Now I made sure that they were not 90-degree angles. Now, assuming these are isosceles triangles, each one of these are probably 55, so that'd probably be a 110-degree angle here. That means the opposite would be a 110-degree angle. And that means each one of these sides here would have been 70, because we know adjacent angles have to add up to be 180. So no right angles, we have a rhombus. Now it says a rhombus with 4 right angles. Okay, so this time I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to come this way 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3, and across 3. And for some reason my grid's a little off, but basically this becomes 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 3 centimeters. And each one of the angles inside here is going to be a right triangle, which is 90 degrees. C, a rectangle that not all sides. It says not all, so that means some can be. Okay, so one thing we know about a rectangle is it's got to have 4 right angles. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go 1, 2. Now I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to come back over 1, 2, and I'm going to come up 4. So I can see this side is congruent to this side is congruent to this side, and I have 4 right angles, which would be 90 degrees each. Now a rectangle with all sides the same. Okay, so on this one I'm going to come over 1, 2 centimeters. I'm going to come down 1, 2 centimeters. I'm coming over 1, 2 centimeters, and I'm coming up 2 centimeters. Now, since all sides are equal, okay, and I know it's a rectangle, so the inside has to be 90 degrees. Okay. A rhombus has a perimeter of 217 degrees centimeters. What is the length of each side of the rhombus? Well, I know that a perimeter is equal to the sum of all sides. And I also know a rhombus means that it has 4 equal sides. So I know that since this perimeter is 217 centimeters and there are 4 sides, if I divide it by 4, I'll be able to find out the length of each side. So 4 goes into 21 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. And bring down our 1. Going to bring down the 7. 4 goes into 17 6 times. And that's going to leave us 6 times. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Goes in at 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. Leaves us 1 left over, so we're going to have 1/4. So now I know each side will equal 54 1/4 centimeters. The next one says list all the properties that all rhombuses share. Now, the biggest thing for all rhombuses is that all rhombuses have 4 congruent or equal sides. That's the main key thing for rhombuses. After that, it says all rhombuses are quadrilaterals. That's a given because it has to be a quadrilateral, it has 4 sides, and has 2 pairs of parallel sides. Well, that's the same thing with a parallelogram. The diagonals of the rhombus are congruent, and their intersections form a 90-degree angle. The most important thing that makes it a rhombus, for our purposes, is a rhombus has 4 congruent or equal sides. Okay. Now, going to number 4, it says list the properties that all rectangles share. Well, the primary one for all rectangles is 4 right angles. Okay. Now I could go through and list all the other properties they have, which means opposite angles are equal and adjacent angles sum is equal to 180. I could also put 2 sets of parallel sides, and I could go on. But the main key thing for classifying rectangles is the one right here, because opposite angles are equal. Okay, that's true about parallelograms. It's true about rhombuses. Okay, adjacent angles sum 80. That there is true for all quadrilaterals. And 2 sets of parallel sides are true for parallelograms also. So the main thing for rectangles is 4 right angles.